Okay, this is it. Patch 99, we finally got there, people. We got there. It wasn't even a goal to do all 99 this year, but I looked at where we were, and I looked at the calendar, and I said, we can do this thing. So, yep, this is not by any means the end of the Nord Modular streams. I'm going to keep on going until my synth dies, or I do, or until I get another, maybe a Nord Modular G2. That would be nice. Just to point it out, we are currently metaphorically at 101%. You're all giving 100.1%. You should be very proud of yourselves. It's not easy to do that. It's technically impossible, but we did it. So what do we have today? Luckily today I do have an idea, or a germ of an idea that might grow into a bigger idea, something. Yeah, here we go. So today's idea is based on one that you have not seen a lot around here. I always come down here to the bottom of the oscillators and I grab Mr. Drum Sound Synthesizer 12%. Today this is not his day. Today it's all about Percussion Osc 4.9%. There have been a few streams with this one that we had in the past, but not a whole heck of a lot. So I have a couple things I want to do with it today. For one thing, I like this drum because it has some functions that the other oscillators don't, including punch, click, and they don't have decay built into them, but they can, of course, decay in an envelope. But this is the guy we haven't used much here, which is the normal little pitch input. And that's what we're going to be using today with these drums. We're going to be making melodic, tuned drums. In fact, let's just go ahead right now. I think 6 is a good number. Let me take my... and I already had this plan in mind to use a phaser. I'm not even going to wire it into the circuit right now. I'm just going to leave it here with his 12% so that we don't run out of power later when I decide to turn it on. That'll just be phaser for the whole patch. I don't know if it'll sound good, but I have a feeling it will work, so I'm going to try it. So there's our 8-input mixer. You know, honestly, we can probably move these over. I don't really intend to destroy their sounds with the digitizer or the overdrives this time. But what I do want to do is tune them differently, so we can definitely do that now. Let's send this one up to, I don't know if 2 octaves up is good, but we'll try. Is that it there? E6. Yeah, there's E6. So this one at E5. There's 4 already. There's E3. And you know what? I think I'm going to take this one down to E2. Because lower than that and we'll be in like 808 kick drum territory. I'm just going to move this I'm going to move this second 4 up to be under the first 4. There we go. Okay, and the other little trick I have up the old sleeve today is I want to play around with that little friend of mine known as the clock divider. So that's one of the reasons the patch may seem a bit sonically simple in terms of the synthesis is not necessarily the most important part, but that's what's fun about the modular format is you don't always have to focus on that side of things. We only have so many resources. I mean, we've used up almost half of them already. So you could say, yeah, if synthesis has its dedicated section over here. But let's get into clock divers. Where are those little jerk faces? Here we go. I think I'm going to need 2 because the first clock I'm going to use straight out of the clock itself will be set to a tempo I like. Let's try around here. And then we'll divide that by 2 and divide that by 4. Same one goes in here. Oh, and we are also going to need at least 5 sequencers, as crazy as that may sound. It is crazy. Let's do this one. There's 6 of them. So those are the 6 sequencers that are going to be plugged into the 6 inputs of these bad boys. And I'm just debating in my head whether to use quantizers or not. I think I'm just going to skip it. I'm kind of overly reliant on the key quantizer. Usually you see me hit random, plug in a key quantizer, and I'm good to go. Today I think I'm going to actually program them. So let's do a little bit of a plug here. So there's 4, and there's 4. And then here's a divided by 2 outputs that goes to 1. Okay, let's put it over here. So many. Even I'm starting to think this is a crazy plan, but it's okay. It's the last patch. We're allowed to go crazy on the last patch of the batch, not of the stream. The stream will never die. Sorry, I got a little excited there. So there's divided by 2, and this one is also divided by 2. And then we have divided by 4, and this one is also divided by 4. Good. I'm realizing we're going to need something to trigger these bad boys with, and as I said in the last video, I don't want to rely on the 16 outputs of gate clock over here. I was just thinking I could mix this with a logic set to something else, but why don't we see if we can get a bit of a melody going before we start doing that. So first of all, let's send the pitches into the pitch inputs. So our faster clocks are going to go to our higher notes, and our slower clocks are going to go to our lower notes. There's no real rule to that. It's just the way this one is going to be. Maybe that's because if you did it the other way, you'd get like this machine gun bass line, which might not be the most listenable thing in the world. So rather than, these are all tuned to E. When I use key quants, I often use a key of C, but I think I'm just going to, since they're all playing E on the same note here, I'm just going to use deviations from the center point as my variations in notes here. So this. And this. Okay, I was thinking about it there. I think what I want to do, I think I just wanted to use this. Now my usage has gone way up to almost 90%. We don't have the phaser plugged in yet, but I think we're almost there. So I'm going to send the same clocks, the divided clocks, and the even more divided clocks. And for now, I'm not going to send any random data into these inputs. They're just going to be on one randomly chosen pattern each. This thing could really use a randomization button, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's just my laziness. So remember, these are all a massive database of patterns that the manual doesn't even tell you what they are. They're just some patterns. And they're still set to 16-step notes for now. And even with the divided one, same thing. I think we can just leave that as it is. So let's go ahead and just make sure we have some more notes in here before we start playing them. So I'm still doing this in a minor key here. Sorry, in a major key. So it should be kind of pleasant sounding. Let's do a couple at a time. So again, this cycles on 16 steps, but the trigger doesn't open every step. It only opens some of the time. It's following the same clock, but it's following a different pattern. So here we go. Oh, let's start plugging these into the mixer so we can hear something. I love hearing something, but I'm not hearing anything. Volume up. And I need to turn this up so the sequencer affects the pitch. There you go. Okay, we'll perfect their sound later. Well, I don't know if we'll perfect it, but we'll change it later. This goes into here. Nope. I can tell already that I'm not going to want to stick with these patterns forever, so I'm going to take a random generator, set it to extremely slow, and then feed it to the pattern inputs. All of them. So the notes that it can play are fixed, but since the gating is all randomized, you get a more all over the place kind of sequence. So we're coming in on voice 3 and 4 here. And why aren't we hearing those? Oh, I think I did something wrong. I plugged this into amp when it should be plugged into trig. There we go. Okay, it's coming together. At least to my ears it is. Cool. Okay, third voice and fifth and sixth voice are coming in. Notice that I still haven't done anything to click, decay, or punch. I just want to get the notes in there and see if I can get something good. Oh, I need these guys. Outputs into trigs. I have to be kind of careful with what I put into these really low-noted ones. I think I'm going to put some octaves into the lowest note guy of all, because if I do too many crazy low notes, it'll be just all over the map. I have to think like a bassist here. I am a bassist, but I have to think like one too. Didn't know Father Moon was a bassist? It's true. Okay, we got an interesting little raindrop sequence here. Let's mute a couple of the top voices since they were already doing well. The lowest ones almost sound like kick drums, so I think I want to open up some of the decays a bit here. Let them ring out. Yeah, you can hear them now. Sounding more like a tuned drum. You have to give them some decay to actually hear the tuning. There we go. Good, let's put the other voices back in. I think they want a bit of decay too. None of them have punch in. I think I'm going to try taking click down a bit now. This guy can be even longer, I think. There we go. You feel that? That's nice. That's pretty. And now let's do the final countdown here, which is to say dropping in the old phaseroo. Phaser goes in here, and it comes out here, and it's pretty. Give it a nice big depth and a nice slow rate to change. Gonna drift this a bit. Gonna use our 1 LFO down here. Send him a real slow drift. I think I'm gonna make one more real slow LFO because I have lots of power left. In fact, it won't be quite as slow. Send that to the spread. And let's just listen a bit. I really like it. I'm going to take some of the highest ones down in volume so they're not so like brittle. They can be a little, yeah. I wonder if it's heresy to put some -12s in here. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's how it's supposed to sound, baby. So we really didn't. I don't want to give myself too much credit. We didn't do much synthesis work today. The percussion oscillator is what it is. We turned the decays up and the clicks down, but most of the prettiness of the sound is already in the oscillator. The phaser is helping. I wonder if chorus will work in mono, or if you'll even hear any difference. Not sure. Hold on. I think I hear it. Yeah. Anyway, that's a nice way to end things, especially since, if nothing else, I think I've definitely proved the sheer flexibility of sound that you can get out of this system. We went through so many different kinds of, what should I be calling this anyway? I'm going to call it Belldrop. Belldrops, plural. Kind of like raindrops, but with bells. And I'm going to save it in the synth. The 99th patch. Man, I can't even talk straight. Oh well. But yeah, if you take that and you just dial back a couple patches. How is this made by the same machine that made this? From this to that. And that was just the last stream. I could jump back to wherever. And this is coming out of the same machine. I mean, I'm not going to bore you by going through every patch, but I think if you've been here for some of them, you'll realize just how flexible it can really get. It's a brilliant machine. God bless Bob Moog and Don Buchla and the boys at Clavia and everybody who offered us this amazing compositional tool in a little red box about the size of a VHS tape. I mean, I'd rather own this than a car, and I don't own a car, so that worked out. I don't have much else to lecture you on except I'll say what I always say, which is thanks for coming to the church and listening to the sermon. I hope you're there for another 99 and another 99 times 99 patches, because I ain't stopping doing this until I die or the synth dies. That's the bet. Me and the synth have a deal. So thank you so much. January is up next. There'll be more of this in January. There'll be more small Eurorack systems. There'll be so many different things. If nothing else, at least I can promise you variety. So thanks to everybody out there, all the supporters of the channel. Leave a comment, leave a subscribe. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/ambient synths in the wild, all one word, no spaces. Become one of my Patreon people and we'll chat on Discord, and I'll cheer you up on a Monday morning, or I'll try. I'll send you a little bleepy synth sound, and you can be like, that's my sound. If you want, you don't have to. But thank you all again, and we'll see you in the next stream. Let's just listen to those bell drops one more time, and we're out.